Hi, my name is David Mello. I'm a resident of the city of Hoboken and also a councilman at large in the city of Hoboken. There's been a lot of talk about whether or not the Port Authority needs more funding in this situation, and I'm not averse to the Port Authority funding the projects they have. My concern is the way it's being funded and the fact that these increases are being put actually slightly more heavily upon riders of mass transit rather than people who are taking cars through Manhattan or into Manhattan. The fact is, we, in the city of Hoboken, we watched our population grow exponentially to a population of 50,000 people in the most recent census. We've done this through a partnership with the Port Authority. Because the PATH trains are located in Hoboken, we would have never had the sort of growth if it was not for the PATH train and the access to Manhattan that those trains provide. Why we would put this increase on the backs of people who take mass transit, who have lived in places like Hoboken and Jersey City, that have taken up far less of a carbon footprint than their neighbors in the suburbs, is beyond me. We should be putting the bulk of this increase on the people who are taking their cars into Manhattan, taking their cars into the outer boroughs or through the city of New York, who might be able to take mass transit instead. I just do not understand why we would be discouraging the use of mass transit and not discouraging the use of cars and vehicles when some statistics have been brought up today that point out why that needs to be done. One of the speakers talked about other countries and how they have systems and they have infrastructure improvements, and those infrastructure improvements are funded. But those infrastructure improvements often include mass transit and a better mass transit system than we have in this nation. We also had a speaker talk about the, I think it was 30 plus gallons of gas that gets wasted in idling cars. Why are we not putting the bulk of this increase upon people in cars as opposed to people who are taking mass transit? That is my concern. The city of Hoboken has grown leaps and bounds because we have this access to the city's core. I do not want to see people opt for living in Brooklyn or Queens because it just makes no sense for them to live on this side of the Hudson River. When we have our meeting in August, the City Council of Hoboken, I hope that we will pass a resolution similar to the one that our neighbors in Jersey City passed. This is an unfair burden because of how much of the burden it places upon mass transit commuters, and I believe that this burden should be shifted to people in cars and vehicles instead of on the backs of people who are doing good for the environment, who have been in partnership with the Port Authority, and who are living in an urban setting which makes more sense for this area overall. Thank you.
Thank you.